The hegemony had ruled through fear for 1,000 years. Their dreadnoughts, each the size of a small moon, had crushed every rebellion, subjugated every rising power, and maintained order through the simple promise of annihilation. No fleet had lasted more than minutes against them. No shield could withstand their primary weapons. No strategy could overcome their numbers. They were invincible, until they weren't. The rebellion on Kepler 442b should have been routine. Another mining world refusing to meet quotas. Another example to be made. Fleet Commander Zarthax brought a single dreadnought, overkill for dealing with modified cargo haulers and obsolete patrol craft. He'd broadcast the execution live, as was tradition. The galaxy needed reminders. Destroy their orbital platforms first, Zarthax ordered from his command throne. Let them watch their defenses crumble before we glass their cities. The tactical display showed the expected. Frightened rebels scattering, desperate transmissions begging for mercy, Allied ships too far away to help. Perfect. Another lesson delivered in blood and fire. Then something new appeared on the scope. Sir. The sensor operator's voice wavered. Unknown vessel dropping out of hyperspace. Configuration doesn't match any known design. Zarthax studied the newcomer with mild interest. Smaller than his dreadnought by a factor of 10. Angular and utilitarian where hegemony ships were curves and grandeur. It looked like someone had weaponized an industrial brick. The vessel broadcast a single message on all frequencies. UES Normandy responding to distress call. Hegemony vessel, you are in violation of the Terra Kepler Protection Treaty. Withdraw immediately. Zarthax laughed. Terra? Never heard of it. Destroy this Normandy, and continue with the bombardment. The dreadnought's continent-cracking main gun swiveled toward the tiny human ship. Enough firepower to shatter a moon focused on a target 1/10 their size. The galaxy watched, expecting another demonstration of hegemony supremacy. The Normandy moved, not fled, not evaded. It accelerated directly toward the dreadnought at speeds that shouldn't have been possible. Point defense systems that could track micrometeorites couldn't follow its trajectory. The massive main gun, designed to bombard stationary worlds, couldn't traverse fast enough. What are they doing? Zarthax demanded. His answer came in the form of kinetic rounds punching through his shields like they were tissue paper. The Normandy wasn't using energy weapons. It was throwing chunks of metal at relativistic speeds. Simple, primitive, devastatingly effective. The dreadnought's shields, designed to disperse energy, couldn't adapt to pure kinetic force. Armor that had never been breached cracked and shattered. Secondary explosions rippled across the massive vessel as the Normandy's railguns found critical systems with surgical precision. Return fire! All weapons! Zarthax screamed. Thousands of energy beams lanced out, enough firepower to sterilize a continent. The Normandy rolled, pitched, and somehow threaded through the barrage. Not gracefully, humans didn't do graceful. They did effective. Where shots connected, ablative armor exploded outward, absorbing damage that would have cored other vessels. Then the Normandy did something impossible. It launched fighters. The hegemony had abandoned small craft centuries ago. Why bother when dreadnoughts were invulnerable? But these human fighters swarmed like angry insects, too small for primary weapons, too numerous for point defense. Each carried nuclear-tipped torpedoes, ancient weapons by galactic standards, but physics didn't care about age. They're insane. The tactical officer whispered as fighter after fighter made suicide runs, some ramming point defense turrets to clear paths for their wingmen. The Normandy itself never stopped moving, never stopped firing. Its crew pushed their ship beyond every safety margin, burning through redundant systems to maintain their assault. They fought like beings who'd grown up believing death was just another problem to solve. 40 minutes. That's how long the pride of the hegemony fleet lasted against a single human battleship 1/10 its size. The dreadnought listed, bleeding atmosphere and fire, its planet-killer weapon destroyed, its engines crippled. This is Captain Michel Rodriguez of the Normandy, came the broadcast. Hegemony vessel, you are defeated. Surrender or be destroyed. You have 30 seconds to comply. Zarthak stared at his ruined bridge, at displays showing system failures across his invincible ship. One vessel. They'd been humbled by one vessel crewed by a species he'd never heard of. How? He transmitted. Your ship is smaller, your weapons primitive. How? Rodriguez appeared on screen, her face streaked with sweat and blood from a console explosion. She smiled grimly. You build ships to intimidate. We build them to win. You fight to rule. We fight to protect. And Commander, her smile widened. This wasn't even one of our good ships. Just a patrol boat that happened to be in the neighborhood. The galaxy watched as the unstoppable hegemony dreadnought surrendered to a human patrol boat. They watched as more human ships arrived to secure the system. They watched as a new power announced itself not through conquest, but by breaking those who would conquer others. The age of hegemony ended that day, not through grand alliance or massive fleets, but because humanity had looked at impossible odds and responded with challenge accepted. The message spread across the galaxy. Terran space was under new management.